So this is it, man. The last reaction of 2020. It kind of seems surreal. So much stuff happened this year that has been so horrific and awful, and there's been so many things that have happened that has been so amazing and beautiful. And finding you cats and building this community is part of those really beautiful things that have happened to me. I can't tell you how much UK hip hop has changed my life in so many different ways. And I love each and every one of y'all that you keep coming back, keep clicking on those videos and keep subscribing. It's humbling, and it's made the worst year for so many people. It has made it wonderful for me, and I thank each and every one of y'all for that. And yeah, I fixed the calendar. It was commented a couple times. I was stuck back in February, which I think was like the last time anyone was in here before we got shut out of the office. So I fixed it. Last day of 2020, it's fixed. So picking the video to go with was difficult for me. I bounced back and forth between a whole bunch of different ones. And I landed on this one for the last holiday special reactions. Jam Baxter, track's called Brains, produced by Ill Informed. Two of my favorites that I've come across since I started this channel. So yeah, man, so without further ado, let's just jump right in and give it a listen.
Just lay there, staring up at us. The doctors told us the chemicals might affect certain glands and nerves, and if they did, his features would never be normal again.
Yeah, it's Sammy. Ah, man, I love Sammy. Hell of a DJ. Oh yeah, man. The way that friggin' scratch comes in, awesome. And what a stupid beat that comes in with it, ill-informed. I know this track is oldish anyway, kind of like myself, but just classic ill-informed beat and a great scratch by Sammy, man. What a great way to start this track. I wonder if those are the two women that are in the is it Ever? I think that might be the track. They come out of the fridge and shit, and they follow him. It's like kind of creepy. They follow him through the parking lot and stuff. Yeah, I wonder if that's the same. They look like the same women anyway.
Deep aquatic excavator, disheveled in the scene. 1,000 breeds of weasel wrestle on this escalator. Tree dwellers leaping out the bow, shouting get the paper. Trunk hugging rebels, chucking petals at a detonator. Man, this shit.
I have to bring that back, man, to catch all that shit. But he's talking about, what is he? 1,000 different breeds of weasels wrestling on an escalator, and they talk about. Did you say tree dwellers? They're jumping from trees, screaming, "Get the paper!" So is he kind of talking a little bit about evolution in that way? Because we've gone from being monkeys in the trees, doing nothing but chasing cash, and then 1,000 different. I think he said 1,000, or did he say 1,000,000? Shit, I don't know. I'm gonna bring it back, but he's talking about the different breeds of weasels. The escalator's going up, so they're wrestling, they're fighting to be the superior breed of weasel, and we go from being a monkey to evolving to being this hairless ape that does nothing but chase monkeys or chase money. My apologies. I'm sure I missed shit. I'm gonna bring it back to right from the start here. See what I.
Deep aquatic excavator, disheveled entertainer. 1,000 breeds of weasel wrestle on this escalator. Tree dwellers leaping out the bow, shouting get the paper. Trunk hugging rebels, chucking petals at a detonator. Man, this shit's second nature.
Tree hugging. You say tree hugging rebels throwing petals at a detonator. So that's kind of like the like tree huggers. I'm thinking hippies or thinking environmentalists, and a detonator is like I'm thinking like war, like a machine, a killing machine, and you're hugging a tree throwing petals like flower petals, or do you say pebbles? Either way, if you have a detonator and bomb, you're throwing pebbles or petals, pretty much useless. And is that kind of what he's getting at? Is like the green movement, the people who are trying to save the planet are basically fighting a war against technology they can never beat. Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but he's a little bit, not all over the place right now. But I'm going to try to nail down what he's getting at here. But
Trunk hugging rebels, chucking petals at a detonator. Man, this shit's second nature. My colossal monster, fed a rich mix of tartuffe and bottled vodka. Off the clock, the trunk.
Friggin' Ronnie Bosch. Oh, this is awesome. I'm not sure who was playing death at the beginning, but what did he say here about his head? I want to catch this again about being. Did he say filled with vodka and tar and truth? So it's like this mixture of bullshit in his head. He can't really make his way through. Maybe.
Petals at a detonator, man, this shit's second nature. My colossal monster, fed a rich mix of tartuffe and bottled vodka. Off the clock, the shrunken brains that punctuate the squalor yonder. Shotters on the underpasses, passing rocks in rotten poplar. Doctor, your people never needed you. It's deep when human evolution seems it superseded you. My supersedes will terminate.
Sorry, I gotta bring this back, but rotten poplar, is that like another term for like bad weed, maybe? Because they call it, like, I've heard it be called like trees and stuff. Anyway, shit, man. Like I'm trying my best to get my understanding here of what's going on. But I like that doctor, like they never needed you. Man, this is pretty deep. Shit. I shouldn't have been surprised when it comes to Jam. The dude is a genius, and it's like I spent all that time breaking down that song, the stump, and I think it was like one of my longest videos to find out that basically it was nothing more than a hallucination that he was having while being high, while going out on a first date. Like, I spent so much time trying to unpack that shit, and I was wrong on every account. So it wouldn't be my first time being wrong with Jam, that's for sure.
My colossal monster, fed a rich mix of tartuffe and bottled vodka. Off the clock, the shrunken brains that punctuate the squalor yonder. Shotters on the underpasses, passing rocks in rotten poplar. Doctor, your people never needed you. It's deep when human evolution seems it superseded you. My supersedes will germinate and turn the greys to greens and blues. They'll never find a pesticide to burn away the weeds that grew. No.
Oh, shit. Friggin', I love that, man. That where he went with that bar with the basically talking about how people don't need the doctors, or people don't need the doctors, the shit that they keep prescribing. And the way he did supersede and then superseded you, and then he turned around and used supersede that he's using to grow, I guess to grow his weed or whatever it is he's growing. I'm guessing his weed. Well, I believe that, man. The best that I can is like try not to take medication. Try to keep kids off medication for as long as you can. Do everything you possibly can not to pour that shit into your body. And like a healthy diet and exercise and all that kind of shit is more important to try that first, and meditation, all that kind of stuff before you start pumping yourself full of chemicals that, I mean, I know so many friggin', and I think I've talked about this before, but I know so many older adults who are like on so many medications because they could take a pill for this, and then they have to take a pill for that, and then they have to take a pill to suit or to like, because there's so many different negative reactions to this medication. You take another medication to counteract the bad shit that this medication does. It's just a fucking nightmare, man. It's like a stew and soup of friggin' candy machine full of pills, when really all it's doing is just messing you up more. I'm friggin' loving all these cats showing up in the videos, man. This is great. Didn't expect to see the 4 owls answer the door, but I'm gonna bring it back a tiny bit so I don't miss anything.
Evolution seems it superseded you. My supersedes will germinate and turn the greys to greens and blues. They'll never find a pesticide to burn the.
Sorry, I don't mean to, I'm stopping this so much. I apologize. So he said Turing. He's talking about his strain of weed or whatever it is that he's will turn the grays to greens and blues. So I'm wondering if he's talking about the grays being like depression and just that gloomy feel that you have, and he's talking about his will change the, into green, so the plants and the trees and all that kind of shit to green, and then change the gray to blue, like the gray skies to blue skies. Grasping that straw, as like I always do with this dude, man.
Will germinate and turn the greys to greens and blues. They'll never find a pesticide to burn away the weeds that grew. No, the vines twist around the muddy or a gully or for guilty is the hand that grips the bloody bore. A bloody nor a shit the bed the kids back, bell your mum. It seems a barber's work is never done. Tell them, can you replace a man's brain? It seems a bit deranged.
I apologize. I'm making this such a long video, but I gotta go back because I wasn't listening to anything he said. Once they started chasing that rat.
Around the muddy or a gully or for guilty is the hand that grips the bloody bore. A bloody nor a shit the bed the kids back, bell your mum. It seems a barber's work is never done. Tell them, can you replace a man's brain? It seems a bit deranged. See, I was still a fetus when the smug salesman came, calling out my name, stranger in the rain, banging on the doors of all perception, screaming cars just pick up rain, frazzle rain, pickle rain, putrid rain, fickle rain.
So I'm wondering if this whole thing is about the pharmaceutical industry and what it does to your brain, because even he talks about he was a fetus when the salesman first came. So it's like even before he was born, his mom was taking medication, prenatal vitamins or whatever it is, or some kind of medication for her. So even before he was born, he was already getting force-fed this medication that we don't need. And he's naming all these different, like, can you replace a man's brain? And he starts naming these different kinds of brains. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm guessing that's where he's going with it.
Cars just pick up rain, frazzle rain, pickle rain, putrid rain, fickle rain, giant rain, shrivel rain, vile rain, cripple rain, runny rain, yummy rain, mushy rain, get your rain, lovely rain, steaming rain, eat your rain, buy my nice crematorium. I simply love the decor, the burning brains add the lovely sparkle to the stage floor. I guess it's all to play for. I'll smash it in the second leg. The jaded killer dragging 7 dead sins to resurrect and entertain for brunch inside my mind as I awake again. Like, come on, my trusty little sidekicks, let's make amends, please. I got a plan for us. Hapless, clammy hands erupting every shade of.
Is he calling on us to kind of open our eyes and see what's really going on? Because he's saying like I got a plan for us, calling us his sidekicks and stuff. I don't know. When he talks about the 7 sins, so I'm calling it like the 7 deadly sins. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back, guys. You know what I gotta catch this shit.
We sparkle to the stage floor. I guess it's all to play for. I'll smash it in the second leg. The jaded killer dragon.
So I guess that's more to play for. I'll smash it in the second leg. So like the second part. So there's more to life than what meets the eye, and once you get it. I don't know.
7 dead sins to resurrect and entertain for brunch inside my mind as I awake again. Like, come on, my trusty little sidekicks, let's make amends, please. I got a plan for us. Hapless clammy hands erupt in every shade of perfect, turning vermin into trampled slugs, turning serpents into snapped elastic bands that once held a man together. Find the bits and bind them better. Goodbye forever. Wait.
What a friggin' bar.
Into trampled slugs, turning serpents into snapped elastic bands that once held a man together. Find the bits and bind them better. Goodbye forever. Wait, I think I left my keys somewhere in that reprobate's brain. I guess I better see. Hold still. Operation Rummage fails at phase 1. The blade swung, the kid fell. I watched it all and stayed numb. The day comes when Mr. Guts McGruff needs to clock the truth. Belling up an ever-eager salesman in a soggy suit. Replace that brain, it seems a bit deranged. See, he was still a fetus when the smug salesman came.
Okay, I'm gonna admit right now that I really felt like I had a grip on the idea of what he was getting at in the first verse. This second verse was a little bit more difficult for me to grasp, and I'm not going to make this video too much longer. It's already 16 minutes, so I'm not going to bring this shit all the way back because there's still 2 minutes left of this song. But the second verse seemed to be a little bit more, maybe it's just me, I'm not here and I'm watching more of the video than actually listen to the lyrics, but this one, it seems to have lost me a little bit here. It seems to be a little bit more out there than the first verse was. Could just be me. Been a long ass year, as you guys know.
Belling up an ever-eager salesman in a soggy suit. Replace that brain, it seems a bit deranged. See, he was still a fetus when the smug salesman came, and now it ain't the same. Stranger in the rain, banging at the doors of all perception, screaming cars just pick up rain, frazzle rain, pickle rain.
And I grasped it there at the end. He's kind of, because he even changed it up and said he was just a fetus when the salesman became. So he's saying like we're not too different. His brain's been messed with all the drugs and all this kind of stuff. Pharmaceutical companies and all that kind of shit have been pumping into us. So he brought it around full circle that this guy that's actually selling the drugs and shit is actually no different than we were before he started. Again, I could be wrong. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Came, and now it ain't the same. Stranger in the rain, banging at the doors of all perception, screaming cars just pick up rain, frazzle rain, pickle rain, putrid rain, fickle rain, giant rain, shrivel rain, vile rain, cripple rain, runny rain, yummy rain, mushy rain, get your rain, lovely rain, steaming rain, eat your rain, buy my rain. Sunny, you were ill for.
Done my best. I rack my brain. I've done my best. I rack my brain.
Jesus. Man, what a friggin' track, and I love that hook for sure. Oddly enough, it was friggin' catchy. All I do was naming off all these different types of brains. But yeah, man, like I said during the video, the second verse, I'm gonna have to listen to this a bunch of more times because I felt like I had grasped it, the idea of behind the song, and then the second verse I kind of lost it a little bit. But I'm sure everything that I said about the first verse is probably wrong as well. It's so difficult to know what Jam is getting at. But yeah, man, I definitely want to hear this track a few more times. Ill-Informed made a really cool beat, man. I really dug that. I love that instrumental. I would, so friggin' nice. I would love to play that. And Sammy B-side, hell of a job on the scratching. I liked all the cameos, man. It was so cool to see these cats. A couple of them I didn't recognize. Yeah, so that was big ups for this track. Good way to end the year in bringing 2021. We get back into our regular rotation of We Got Next and Throwback Thursdays. Yeah, man, I just want to say one more time how much I appreciate each and every one of y'all and being here with me as we move forward into 2021 and building this community a little bit bigger, getting the word out there. I can honestly say UK hip hop helped me get through 2020 and really opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love each and every one of y'all. I can't wait till the time comes where all this shit gets figured out and I can get over there and meet you cats in person, have a pint, talk some hip hop, show me the sights, all that kind of stuff, man. I'm really looking forward to that day, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And so until next year, have a safe and wonderful New Year's Eve, and until 2021, I love you all. Stay safe and be good to each other.